Vince Neil was driving drunk when his passenger was killed in a car crash, so how did he walk free after only 2 weeks in jail? That's just one of many public relations problems that did no favors for Motley Crue. In Motley Crue's autobiography, The Dirt, the band revealed that on one occasion, Nikki Sixx was having sex with a woman when drummer Tommy Lee switched places with him, without letting the woman know that there had been a change in partners. Prior to the premiere of the Netflix movie adaptation of The Dirt, Rolling Stone asked Sixx about the incident. The bassist backtracked, claiming that there was some sensationalization involved, as he was off the wagon at the time the book was written, and didn't remember telling the story to co-writer Neil Strauss. There was a little bit of embellishment here and there, but many fans didn't buy the excuse, feeling that Sixx only walked back the story after realizing how bad the optics were. Finnish glam rock band Hanoi Rocks was one of the hottest bands around in December 1984, when members of the band, including drummer Nicholas Razzle Dingley, attended one of Motley Crue's raging parties. As dramatized in the Netflix adaptation of The Dirt, Vince Neil and Razzle drove off to the liquor store to restock. Neil, whose blood alcohol of 0.17 was well above the legal limit, lost control of the car, which spun into oncoming traffic. Razzle was killed almost instantly, and 2 other individuals suffered serious injuries. Neil was convicted of vehicular manslaughter, but only spent 15 days in jail. He didn't learn his lesson either. The singer was later arrested on suspicion of DUI in 2007 and again in 2010. Hanoi Rocks guitarist Andy McCoy told Classic Rock that Neil never apologized for causing Razzle's death, not even decades after the fatal car crash. "He's scared of me. Every time he sees me, he runs away. But to me, it is so important. It is the moral value of the thing. The other Motley Crue guys apologized, but the other guys didn't do anything wrong." In late 1997, during a concert in Greensboro, North Carolina, Nikki Sixx spotted a security guard abusing his authority with the fans on 2 separate occasions, first shining a light in a woman's eyes, and then getting overly physical with another fan. Sixx grabbed the microphone to rebuke the guard, who happened to be black, for bullying the fans. But then Sixx went too far, repeatedly using the N-word while urging fans to attack the guard. Sixx and Lee then poured beer on the guard. The pair were arrested for inciting a riot. Both pleaded no contest and received suspended sentences. Sixx also settled a civil suit out of court with the guard. On February 24, 1998, Lee was arrested for spousal and child abuse after the drummer physically attacked his wife, Baywatch star Pamela Anderson, while she was holding their youngest son, Dylan. Just days after Lee's arrest, Anderson filed for divorce. In 2018, she told Piers Morgan,
"He had no concept of who he was or what was going on, and I had 2 babies there, and I really thought he was going to, I don't know, he could have killed me."
That May, Lee was sentenced to 6 months in the Los Angeles County Jail and was also required to attend anger management counseling and perform community service. The Malibu judge told Lee during his sentencing, "What I see here is a very clear, very disturbing, in my judgment, pattern of conduct in which otherwise resolvable matters are handled by violence. You do it whether it's a family member or a third party. That's intolerable in any kind of civilized society." In 2014, a Manhattan-based musical duo called The Raskins joined Motley Crue on tour as the opening act. 2 years later, they filed a lawsuit claiming they were subjected to months of cruel hazing from the crew and their team, which purportedly saw the Raskins get hit by heavy equipment and at one show in Connecticut, sprayed by crew members in monkey masks firing urine-filled water guns. The duo was also forbidden to sell their own merchandise and left with no choice but to play abbreviated, poorly attended sets because managers wouldn't open the venues promptly. Making things worse was the fact that the Raskins had actually paid Motley Crue $1 million for the opportunity to tour with them. The Raskins sued Motley Crue for $30 million, though the outcome of the lawsuit is unclear. Over the last several years, singer Vince Neil has been under fire from fans and critics for his live performances, as he has struggled to hit notes, stay on key, or even remember the lyrics. That may be one reason why the band has apparently begun miming their performances to pre-recorded tracks. Bootleg videos of live gigs show Neil with his mouth closed while his vocals continue to play. And it's not just Neil. Sixx has been caught waving his arms over his head while his bass line rumbled on without him. And on one occasion, Lee's cymbals began clanging when he wasn't even at his drum kit. Needless to say, fans aren't happy that the band's live performances don't seem to actually be live, especially given the high cost of concert tickets these days. Motley Crue fans were saddened when guitarist Mick Mars announced his retirement from touring in October 2022. It wasn't a huge surprise, given that he's in his 70s, and for most of his adult life, Mars has endured tremendous pain and other physical challenges due to ankylosing spondylitis, a bone disease with no known cure. What was a surprise, however, was the legal wrangling that followed. The other members of Mötley Crüe filed a demand for arbitration against him, in an attempt to prove he is no longer an equal partner in the band. Mars then countered with a lawsuit, maintaining that his decision to retire from the road should not affect those rights. In an interview with Variety, Mars accused his former bandmates of gaslighting him into thinking he had memory issues during his last decade with the group. "I don't have a problem remembering the songs, but I do have a problem with them constantly the whole time, telling me that I lost my memory." Mars said that the actual issue was that he was trying to play live while the rest of the band was using a recorded track that was sometimes out of sync with his playing. He added, "I'm pretty upset that they're even pulling this crap when I carried these bastards for years."
As long as my brain and my hands and legs work, I'm never stopping.
In February 1992, Vince Neil abruptly left the band. The remaining members of Motley Crue brought in singer John Corabi as their new frontman. The resulting self-titled 1994 album sounded nothing like their classic 80s albums, and more like an attempt to tap into the burgeoning grunge movement. Critics and fans were underwhelmed, but at least it was clear what the band was trying to do. That wasn't the case with their next album, though. Released 3 years later, following Neil's return to the band, Generation Swine jumped from genre to genre with little reason or rhyme. Rolling Stone wrote, "Whiny ballads flounder dazedly alongside hardcore beats and woozy melodies, and mean dude bravado clashes with goopy heart-on-sleeve sentiment." The review singled out Brandon, a song Tommy Lee wrote for his firstborn son with Pamela Anderson, as a particular lowlight. Lee's intentions may have been earnest, but lyrics such as "Brandon, I love you, I love her, she is your mom," made the Wildman drummer look like Captain Obvious, and left fans wondering if the band had lost their hit-making touch for good.
Who's your daddy? You'll need to know to address the envelope of his Father's Day card.